Has the secret to boundless free energy been discovered? Well, according to two Brazilian inventors, it has. On February 11, 2013, two Brazilian inventors posted a video of themselves demonstrating a device powering a bank of lights. A few months later, on July 7, 2013, inventors Nilson Barbosa and Clairson Leah filed an international patent on the device stating it will produce free energy. Now the pair have stated they'll be selling the small device to the people of Imperatriz, Brazil. It's called the Earth Electron Capture Generator. And according to the patent, it works like this. Earth energy is electromagnetic energy that can be instantly obtained to perform work through an electromagnetic field connected to Earth. After initial power-up from any electrical source, a sensor begins to rotate, creating what is known as over-unity power. Over-unity devices have long been criticized because some claim it violates the laws of physics. However, this has clearly not stopped Barbosa and Leah. The pair have created multiple sizes of the generator. The smallest is capable of generating 12.1 kilowatts of power with a load of 6,000 watts, using only 21 watts input energy. The team believes it can power a family home or automobile. It should be noted, however, that any time technology such as this surfaces, it generally disappears just as fast. This may not be the case with Barbosa and Leah. The inventors are working to license production to several manufacturing firms that will begin online sales in January 2014 with prices starting at $5,500. More information on the inventors and the Earth Electron Capture Generator can be found at energiauniversaleco.br.
So zero energy drive.
The over-unity motors.
Over-unity is the trade of the day. We've been running a couple specials about that. We want any engineers or physicists out there who want to replicate this to contact us and do a test.
And maybe it could cause an end to the war for resources.
So, while we are talking about an end to war and sharing, I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet.
You're tuned into Video Radio, and we've got an awesome clip right here, right now about
turning algae into Biocrude.
Making fuel from algae sounds like science fiction, but that's the goal at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Engineers have created a new way to turn the green goo into energy as part of an effort to reduce use of traditional fuels like oil, which contribute to climate change. The process subjects algae to very high pressure and temperature, the same conditions within the Earth that transformed algae to oil millions of years ago. It's a seamless process. Engineers put algae into the reactor for less than an hour, and out comes crude oil, water, and some usable byproducts.
This is the algae feedstock that we use in our process. It is about 80% water at this point in time. Once we put the algae through our processing system, it's converted into this type of light biocrude oil. Final step of the process is then to convert the biocrude into a finished hydrocarbon product. That's what is in this jar. It's a mixture of gasoline and diesel range hydrocarbon materials.
We can make fuel from algae today, but it's not easy or cheap. This research simplifies the process dramatically, a key step toward lowering the cost of algae fuel.
Yes, indeed, there are ways of doing things and getting a different result.
Actually, it is an old way to do it, but it's just speeding it up very quickly.
We've also got a special on the innovation segment here at Radio Free Canada about doing biodiesel in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. We want you to check it out and make sure you do the test.
But rising energy costs in England have caused Lungi Motor to come up with a very uniquely innovative idea.
You know, I've been thinking about this for years. Check this out.
The motto here is, if in doubt, work out. And the customers sweating in this Bristol gym aren't just burning calories. They're generating electricity at the same time, thanks to nifty new equipment.
The technology used here has turned these machines into mini power stations. So by using this bike, I'm generating electricity that goes back into the grid and helps to keep the lights on. It helps to keep the televisions working, and it even helps to keep the music playing.
The idea is so simple, it's hard to believe that just one equipment manufacturer has embraced it, and this gym is pioneering it.
And then if you press that button here, it gives you an understanding of the energy that you've produced, how many emissions you've avoided, the energy you're producing as well, so you can see when you're working out what you're actually powering.
But by using up less traditional energy, this place is helping to save the environment.
Our electricity bill, for an example, is about £8,000 a month. With the new equipment that's come in, we're seeing that reduced by about £1,500 a month already. So for us, that's quite a significant saving. That poor gentleman over there is helping me to save energy and costs.
Energy prices in the UK have been rising so fast, it's prompted a national debate on how to keep gas and electricity suppliers in check. But thanks to the power of the people, Jason's got it sorted. Despite being used as human generators, the customers are a happy bunch.
We're running out of energy, aren't we? I mean, in a few years' time, God knows what's going to happen if we don't save energy. That's the point, isn't it?
Looks like burning off the fat without burning fossil fuels has given a whole new meaning to exercising power.
You know, all those years of working out in the gym when I actually did work out, and imagine what we must have produced.
Yeah, and we could get T-shirts that say, I produce so many kilowatts or
That's
so many
right.
megawatts.
Okay, but you know, gyms aren't doing it locally, and for heaven's sakes, there'll probably be a law against it because there's a monopoly of power services here in Kelowna. One more last thing. Remember to watch the movie Who Killed the Electric Car?
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you check out the reason why hybrids have been so long coming around. But
Ford has a new idea in development to help that green energy marketing.
Ford is set to showcase its new plug-in hybrid vehicle that comes with solar panels on the roof. The big debut will happen at the Las Vegas International Consumer Electronics Show starting January 7th. Based on Ford's already existing plug-in car, the C-Max solar energy concept can run 21 miles on just electric power before it switches to a gasoline engine. This extends the total range to about 620 miles. Now, at this point, the 300-watt solar cells can only charge the car's battery about 1/8 full, which will get you roughly 3 miles down the road. So to boost the cell's power, the car can park under a canopy Ford calls a magnifying glass. It's a special concentrator that directs intense solar rays to the roof's panels, allowing for a full 8-kilowatt charge. Ford says the use of this canopy would eliminate having to set up charging stations in parking lots. The tech could even reduce annual greenhouse emissions produced by the average driver by 4 metric tons, or nearly 9,000 pounds. If testing goes well, Ford sees potential to set up the system in workplace parking lots. Ford executive Mike Tinsky praises the canopy's ease of use.
If you're in an area that doesn't have electricity either provided or a very unreliable source of electricity, this concept will still work.
And Ford isn't the only automaker that has been testing solar panels in its cars. An option on the Toyota Prius includes solar panels to power an electric fan that cools the cabin when the car is parked. Another luxury sedan, called the Fisker Karma, also has a solar panel. It adds about 5 electric miles per week when always parked in the sun. And the Audi A8 also uses solar panels to operate a cabin fan. Ford will begin testing the solar hybrid and its canopy system later this year. There's no estimate on how much the car would cost if it were ever to go on sale. For Newsy, I'm Lauren Gorse.
So, you know, Ford, okay, you know, yes, they've been benefiting from the oil for this long. It's kind of nice to see them waking up.
And not just them, but the other large vehicle manufacturers as well.
Yes. And also, you know, we would like the City of Kelowna to wake up too, which is why we have the Municipal Sustainability Project. We have a major update. We're going to start filming on Sunday right down at City Park right here at the sales. So
that's right.
If you've got a chance, hopefully this special gets up before that, and you can come join us.
Notice from the Interstellar Safety Council. Your starship will soon enter an area of space where humans have been previously found. Now, we understand that there are rumours and myths about the species. It's true that humans are extremely dangerous, but we believe that the best way to deal with them is to be aware of the facts. The human world, unlike all other known planets, works on a principle that they call survival of the fittest. For billions of years from the time life first appeared, their world has changed not by cooperation, but by brutal, violent competition. Humans are powered by three things. First, humans grow, repair, and fuel themselves by consuming and digesting other life forms, including macroscopic life and, in many cases, life capable of reaction and distress. Their intake point contains exoskeletal protrusions designed to crush, tear, and rip almost any organic material. A human once ate a flying machine. Humans are symbiotic creatures. Around 2% of their mass is made of organisms that aid their digestion, but many of which would kill them if allowed to contact other parts of their internal structure. Humans, everything that they produce and everything on their planet is covered in uncountable numbers of these microscopic creatures, just one of which would be enough to catastrophically end life on many of our worlds. Unlike most species, human sensory organs are adapted for a wide variety of terrestrial environments. They can identify threats and prey by detecting disruptions in the atmosphere, using some electromagnetic frequencies, and using chemical detection. Astonishingly, they are immune to all but the strongest magnetic fields and all known halting problem attacks. Humans have the ability to perform multiple tasks at once. Their many parts can operate automatically without their central mind being consciously aware of it. Most humans are able to concentrate on more than one complicated task at the same time. As a result, they do not need to pause to think between actions or to contemplate their next move in physical combat. They can manipulate objects with incredible speed and precision by simply willing their body to do so. Human recreation includes physical violence, mental competition, deliberate disruption of their thought processes, and in some cases, deliberately placing themselves into potentially lethal situations. Humans do have weaknesses. The second thing that powers them is oxygen. Highly flammable, highly corrosive oxygen. They are, therefore, only capable of operating in a limited number of terrestrial environments. They are also extremely susceptible to ionizing radiation, gravitational forces, and temperature changes. Their space travel thus requires extensive, complicated, and fragile life support arrangements. This is their weak point and the correct time to attack. Once they land on an oxygen-bearing planet, it is theirs and they will win. And they will win because their most startling capability is one of self-delusion. Humans are not a rational species. They do not have an intrinsic grasp of statistics or probabilities. If they did, their history would be very different. They would have followed more sensible approaches to space travel than putting their oxygenated bodies into pressurized metal boxes and throwing themselves off their planet's surface. Humans are irrational, messy, contradictory, and sometimes self-defeating. They act against each other's interests and compete viciously and brutally for limited resources. Instead of acting as one, they form complicated tribes that fight between each other. But humans also possess a high capacity for aspiration, kinship, compassion, and a ridiculous tolerance of adversity. For this reason, they are extremely dangerous and likely to take over a significant part of the galaxy in a very short time. Avoid, if at all possible.